Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
And we have a viewer request. So let it not be said that we do not pay attention to the fans. And here we are. JD, go ahead and introduce our guests.
Yeah, we had listener request to do a crossover with fellow customizers, a couple of Kuks, and here we go. John, Mike, it's really nice to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
Great
Great
to
to be
be
here.
here. Thank you.
And for
Um,
our
John's
longtime
John's
visit,
a returning guest
yeah,
from a couple of podcast appearances alongside Troy for Call Sign Longbow. This is the first time we've had Mikey on, so this is awesome.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm
Thank you
excited.
for joining us, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
um,
great.
so are you So you all, well, you went to Joe Fest. We're a little jealous. Just tell us a little bit. Tell us some highlights.
It was
Tell
a
us
good
what you
time.
bought. Um,
Good time.
We went to Joe Fest and we went to DFW.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah,
just took
back to
two
back
weeks,
weekends.
2 weeks of craziness.
I'll bet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a lot of that's a lot of geekery. Um,
yeah, for sure.
it really was.
Yeah, I can't imagine being a vendor at a convention 2 weeks in a row. We just did Denver Comic Con on 4th of July weekend, and we went all 4 days for that. And I'm at the end of that, I'm conned out. So I don't know how you guys can do two conventions back to back like that.
well, and when John is there, is at both to promote Call Sign Longbow.
Yeah.
That's 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 got to be really involved when you're actually like they're representing something that you're making that you're putting out in the market. What is that like? Like, is it extra pressure, or is it just more being restricted to moving around so much in the convention, but it's still fun?
This year it wasn't so bad because we're still holding on getting our product for Call Sign Longbow. So we did have the ghost figure on hand, and we were right next to the Skeletron guys who we
Ah,
partner with in a lot of projects. And we had a kind of a passion project that we had been involved in, and that was presented later in the week. So really, we answered a lot of questions about where things were in production and what was going on. We answered a lot of questions about that, and we did actually pretty good at Joe Fest with some sales. But we always remember that we always go to this show, and these are already people that have already most of the people are already were already Kickstarter backers or bought something from us last year, and the only thing we had this year was Ghost. And we did between both shows, we went through a few cases of Ghost figures.
Nice.
They are fantastic,
Yeah,
and
rightfully so. It is a goddamn beautiful figure. So
it is.
and
It
this
is.
thank you. And this year at Joe Fest again, we had Doug Hart with us.
oh, package designer or the painter. I
Yeah,
love
and
his work.
he's an absolute blast. He kind of was out of the picture for a while. Like a lot of these guys don't even realize that they have a fan base. So Dan Klingensmith books kind of shed light on that because you see all these guys' names and you're like, well, who are these guys and where are they? So this gave us a chance to get Doug in front of people last year. He does not like crowds, but when people were bringing him stuff that wasn't GI Joe and knew that that was his work, that really he liked that.
Oh,
So
Oh, that's really cool.
yeah.
this year there was a lot of that. Doug did art. He was an in-house Hasbro painter, where Hector Garrido was somebody that they hired to do the work, and Hector was off-site. So when they decided to shake things up, uh, they just kind of went to Doug. He had done Air Raiders. He ended up doing the Stargate toy line. You really, when you start looking at package art, you see all this stuff that Doug did while he was in house. And it wasn't just the action lines. He got stuck on My Little Pony and he had to do whatever Hasbro told him to do because he was the in-house artist.
I
But
bet his My Little Pony art was amazing too.
I'm
It's
sure.
top notch. It's always top notch with Doug.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And Doug is an artist that he knows his limitations, so he really encourages you to feedback and you to hit him with stuff. He particularly likes when we do kind of set up the pose for him. A funny example of that is this year, one of the characters that is, obviously in development because he's in the comic is Paradox, and he's a pararescue. Paradox, the art that I did for it was he's like rappelling down this rope, and he's got a harness, that comes up from his belt, like hit and run kind of.
Hmm.
And the image of him, he's holding that with one hand, and he's rappelling, and he's like, guys, I don't mean to pick at, the art because it looks really cool, but there's no way you could rappel one-handed with that kind of a rig. Is there something we could do to show that you have to let off the slack? So we reposed it a little bit, and he was good with that. So he really does look at the art, and one of his
That's
favorite
really
things.
cool.
He's not super big on technology at all. Like I think a fax machine is even something he doesn't want to touch. But what he really loves, one thing that, and he and I talked about this a lot this week that we were at Joe Fest, is that he loves the fact that with 3D renderings, we can position like a rifle or something in perspective view, and he doesn't have to guess what that looks like. He can pretty much position it like it's going to be and then paint it. So, and he just loves that. He said that was probably my favorite thing about it. I used to have to like position the figure and take pictures of somebody holding a gun. He said, but now, with all this 3D art, you can give me what I need to see. So he said that was one of his favorite like innovations of technology. And I think that's funny with everything else that it takes to 3D model, develop, and all of that. Doug loves the fact that we can just spin the image around so that he can draw the gun. And I think that's funny. Uh, but it's cool. It's cool that that is an afterthought for most people, but for him that is a very critical thing, and he wants to draw it right. He wants to paint it correctly. He doesn't want somebody 2 years from now being like, like the Wild Bill art where that guy's got 6 fingers. Like, he would never want something like that to happen. He
Right.
takes great pride in it. He's great, and it's awesome because this new O-ring Renaissance. He's doing art for uh, Operation Recall. He's doing the art for the Skeletron O-rings and anything that Skeletron puts out that is O-ring related. So he is a grindstone partner, and we just absolutely love having him. That was cool this year. We got to have Doug there. Mikey and I didn't go this year or last year because they were on the same weekend. So Troy and I split up, and one of us went to DFW and one of us went here.
Uh,
So the nice thing was that gave me a chance to connect with people at Joe Fest that I didn't get to last year, and it was Troy's first time being at DFW, so he got to connect with that group of people. Uh, and then of
that's
course
awesome.
we got to hang out with Mikey's entourage, who was a lot of them were at DFW, so that was pretty cool. So for me, for Longbow, it really kind of worked out this year because we had Mikey and I are doing our thing, and we had not planned well enough with Joe Fest, so we did not have a booth. So Troy said, hey, we've only got this product, and at DFW we're going to need the whole booth because we'll have Robo Skull and we'll have the Skeletron product. So why don't you guys take this table here? So we were able to go to the truck and get some of the stuff that we would set up at DFW, a smaller version of it, and that really gave us a chance to connect with some people. Mikey, I think did pretty good at Joe Fest. Got some requests for work, and we got to meet some people that just recently started coming to the shows, and we got to meet with them and talk to them, which was pretty cool. Got people that Mikey and I both have worked with and never got to meet in person. We both got to meet people. So it wasn't too bad. It was hectic and it was crazy. Troy had his parts of his family there for Joe Fest, and then had his whole team there, his whole family at DFW, and so it wasn't as chaotic as I thought it was going to be. The chaos was just in getting everything set up and figuring out how we were going to do things when we hadn't planned on laying anything out at all. But it was crazy, but it always is. And just doing two shows back to back like that
A lot.
it was exhausting.
Yeah, I'll
Because
bet.
I had just been working the 3 to 4 weeks before that, I was moving, and it was just a disaster trying to move. Everything was more difficult than it should be. So I went from that.
Moving sucks.
Yeah,
It's
It's a
terrible,
horrible
man.
experience.
I do not
100%.
100% do not recommend. I can tell you that. So it went right from that into, Father's Day. I conned Mikey into helping me, a couple of days to move. So it went from that, and the next weekend we're on the road, and it's just been this last 6 weeks for me, 6 weeks to 7 weeks. It's just been insane, and it didn't stop. We were working on stuff for the DFW show, and I was trying to get things done, and even arranged to get a 3D printer down there to run it so that we could get caught up on things. And I was working, and this probably is not an exaggeration, 24/7 for 2 weeks, just hitting 3 hours of sleep here and there, some nights not sleeping at all. So it was actually like the last 2 days, or the last day of DFW was like the first day I got to just relax and enjoy the show. And Saturday night, I was going to go to bed, and I was like, you know what? I haven't been down to hang out with anybody at the bar this week, so tonight's the night. And
nice.
and that was a good night to do it. We had a lot of fun. So yeah, I kind
It's a
of
big night.
it was. But that, so that's kind of where we were, and like to think we'll be a little more prepared next year. I'd like to think we can hit a couple more shows and get outside of that group of people that always see us, and get somewhere to see some of the new stuff, especially when the longbow product starts, releasing.
Yeah.
Then Mikey and I can take a small contingency of that stuff, and then have our stuff too, and continue to grow all the brands. Uh, Everybody tries to work together and help each other out, so we're definitely looking forward to doing some of that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
Well, and I'm just looking forward to getting call sign longbow in my hands.
I'm looking forward to you getting them in your hands, JD.
When I
Oh yeah.
It's been a spell.
what was it, the last update when we got to see Lancer, and I'm like, oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait.
I cannot wait for that line.
It's pretty exciting, and then we'll get these next 6 out pretty quick. They're in production now for the 6 that we've been showing, and then that last 4 will come later in the year. But we finally have, I think, so we've got our contact overseas, and then he works with the model and development team, and then there's the factory.
Right.
And we had some in between like miscommunications, and with getting everything going for these 6 figures that are coming next, everybody learned a few things. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to go a little faster getting those last 4 out, and then after that we have so many things planned. There's all kinds of things in the works for call sign longbow.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We just don't, we work on it. It's not like we just shut our creativity off
Right.
because production's not happening. We've been planning this for so many years, and this is our thing.
I
So
can
it
only
doesn't stop.
imagine that it's an ongoing process. Like, you can never count on not getting a phone call or a message about something. Like,
Yeah,
I imagine, like, you can relax on the weekends, but there will be talk about the toy line,
yeah,
I'm sure, because I'm
yeah.
sure it's one thing after another.
And working with the Skeletron team with stuff that they end up picking up for O-ring stuff that they want to work on. It's usually like a call on a Tuesday morning, and Troy says, "Hey, do you want to work on this?" Yeah. When do you need it? Probably tomorrow. Oh, okay. Be a late night tonight. And I make that. I'm joking because, as Mikey knows, I love that. I love when somebody calls and they're like, "How fast can you get this done?" And I love that challenge. So I really don't mind that. In fact, the hardest thing I have trouble with is understanding, having worked in American manufacturing, just understanding why it is so much more difficult overseas when we have, we get a little crazy with technology. I know that we do, but I've worked several places, and you'll get inundated with project updates and all that, and it seems so different over there. It's just like it's a fire and forget situation where they'll say, "Yeah, we gave that to them a couple months ago. We'll check up on that and see where it's at." I,
What
well,
the
this was me
hell?
having something built. I try to be calling like every couple of days, say, how we doing on that? Thought we were going to be here today.
What the
So that's
hell?
the
That's got to be frustrating.
it is. But our guy over there, he does his best. But like I say, you got two things of communication, and he really doesn't get into what the fact. He'll go over there and tour and see where everything's at and that. But that he's not, he can't be right into that because you have to go through the development team and
Right.
they're doing their thing. So there's a lot of steps, and he does a pretty good job of when he knows something letting us know. But sometimes he gets in the same situation we do where it goes a little time without hearing, or when you finally hear something, it's like, well, I know we haven't talked about this for a little while, but we're almost ready to ship this. Do you guys have package art done? Oh, we already sent that to you. Can you send it again? Sure. Yeah. We're waiting on you now. Oh, okay. Well, we'll jump right on that. Sorry. So there's a lot of that going on. But I think all of us are dealing with that. Everybody that's manufacturing stuff right now is dealing with some level of that, no matter what country you're trying to work with. We got people working with people in Vietnam, Colombia, different places.
Yeah.
So, that's just something you deal with. And it sucks, and it feels like it really feels sometimes it feels a little overwhelming when you got, yeah, there's four or five other people also doing this stuff, but at
Yeah.
the same time you're kind of like, well, okay, so are we all waiting till the last minute, or is somebody going to release something in between? And when you don't see anybody releasing stuff, you start to kind of you get worried, and then you have to investigate and call, and somebody eases your mind, but it always like makes you think that, you're always kind of thinking like, okay, well, haven't heard from him in 6 months. Haven't heard of a development in 6 months, but I've also not heard of any of the other people using this factory having any developments. And I think what they do is they try to preload everything up to a point, and then they just load the factory up and they just pump stuff out and get it all done. And then you'll see that's why a lot of times, Skeletron will release something, Sphero Toys may release something. Everybody just releases something, and it all seems to happen really quick. But just everybody's got to remember that's 8 months of planning
Yeah.
where all of us have been talking to them in between there before they release everything to the factory at once for all the machines to work at the same time.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And I've gotten that a bunch of times. It's like, how come you don't, make your own toy line? And it's like, I wouldn't even know where to start. And those everything that you just went through is like, yeah, this is why I
this is,
do this.
yeah, I was thinking that too. In my head, I, I guess one of the few jobs I ever wanted to be when I was a kid was maybe a toy designer when I grow up. But no, it's come to my attention that I can design them in my head, but I could never logistically or psychologically handle all the pitfalls and all the rigmarole that would come with
Yeah.
trying to crowd fund a brand new toy line to actually make it a reality. I don't,
Yeah.
I'm really glad that so many of you, including you, and that you all do this, that you all put these products out so we can enjoy them because I I, I would never try to take on such a challenge
I
because
don't
it's
think
just there's
people,
so much pressure and so much bullshit it seems.
I don't think people really understand on the back end what actually goes into making this. They just they just assume that, you send this idea to the factory and they put it all together and send it to you. And
yeah, it's
it doesn't
and
work.
I was lucky enough that I worked with Jason Shiremeyer a little bit before we really started Call Sign Longbow, and Jason really gave me a good understanding of what to expect. Uh, Jason does a lot of different things with a lot of different factories. And he said it's not going to be unusual for you to have a 2 to 4 a.m. call because that's when they're working. And that is really the best time to speak to someone. You can talk, without just a message and then the next day get a message back and then the next day back, and so, and especially during the Kickstarter, when we did the Kickstarter for Call Sign Longbow, that there were many nights. I mean, we dragged Mikey and some of our other people that we were kind of using for sounding boards for ideas. We dragged them out of bed and be like, "Hey, can you guys jump on a call?" Be 9 or
Oh,
10 o'clock at night. We'd end up on the phone just looking at pictures till 2 a.m. You
oh,
know,
darn! Late night conversations about toys and military toy lines.
Can you believe the
Oh,
well,
nerve?
that's awful.
I can tell you that very few people ever said, "Dude, I'm in bed. Leave me alone." We didn't get
Exactly.
that very often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of watching a movie the other day that I was enjoying, and then Brian sent me a text about something. Did they ever make such and such a thing in the Joe line? It's a Street Fighter vehicle, it turns out. But then I went down a rabbit hole of looking through YoJo at like the pre-production archives for the Street Fighter line, all the hand painted prototypes with the
Yeah.
temporary parts and all that shit. And I spent like an hour and a half doing that. The movie reset, the movie went down, the screensaver came up on the smart TV. I'm like, I didn't even know this. So um
It's many times, JD, that I'll be working on something. I'll have a movie going, and I will get so focused on it that when I finally look up, because I have to go to the bathroom so bad, I'm going to have to get up, and I look up and it's on a totally different movie. I'm like, what am I watching? Like, how did it decide that this was the next movie? This has nothing to do with Blazing Saddles.
um,
Right.
Uh, but
um
but it happens. It happens. The rabbit hole, no matter whether it's you're working on something or you just start researching,
Yes.
you end up way different place than you started. So
Yep. Yeah. When I research for a custom, I usually have I start with like one tab. Okay, I'm just gonna keep this to one tab, and then by the time I'm done, I've got like 15 tabs open. I'm like, all right, that did not go how I wanted it to.
that
totally
I saw
understand.
a meme one day that said, "No, I can't close them. They're my emotional support 53 open tabs on the internet browser." So, yeah. Um when you're doing research and going down those rabbit holes, go to TF Wiki. Go down that rabbit hole one night.
Talk
Oh
to
my God. That is the best wiki, I think, on the internet. That is so thorough and so like niche. And I'm like, I don't, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I was looking for here. I
Yeah,
started looking through TFW and I'm like, now I'm going to have to remember it later because holy shit. Um, how did I've never even watched Transformers animated, and holy shit, I've been reading about those characters for like 45 minutes. So,
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
well, so Mikey, um, so where did you start with GI Joe? Because I'm just curious.
I guess at probably right around birth. It was just kind of part of growing up.
I was gonna say,
Uh,
John, did you always have GI Joe somewhere?
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. I was born in '90, so the Real American Hero was still going on, but by the time I could really go and buy figures of my own, it was gone. So we
Oh,
would
you
go
had
to.
Sergeant Savage, and
No, I did. That never happened. That didn't happen. Okay. But, we'd go to like antique stores and flea markets and stuff and find like bags of GI Joes for a couple bucks. So I had the ranks that most kids probably didn't have growing up because theirs were new and mine were used. But yeah, it was kind of always a part of it. And then 12-inch GI Joes happened. The resurgence of that, and
Yeah.
we went pretty crazy on that too. But it's
oh,
always been
all
a part
right,
of my life.
okay.
Yeah.
So I never got into the 12-inch Joe line. I looked at a lot of them. We were living on an army base at the time. There were a couple of army base, and the PX. They always have like the 12-inch Joe line. So lots of them looked really cool. I did get the George Washington as a gift one year, but that was it.
It's
So
a
what
good
was
Yeah.
that like
figure.
collecting? Did you buy
That's good.
like the Real American Hero stuff, or like the more realistic stuff?
All of it, really. I mean, there really wasn't anything that was 12-inch, like 1/6 scale Joe stuff, Joe adjacent that we didn't get into, really. I mean, it started with, Hall of Fame G.I. Joes, and then, you know, G.I. Joe got a little better with their articulation, and then 21st Century came out, and then,
Verse 21st.
then we found out about Dragon, and you could get like, historically accurate military, you know, so had a bunch of Jerry's and, you know, paratroopers and stuff. And, you know, I would break those pretty much immediately because they were made out of, you know, porcelain, essentially, super thin plastic, not meant to be played with by, you know, 8, 9, 10 year olds.
No.
You know, then, you know, Blue Box came out and
Yes.
GI Joe went super articulated. I mean, we went all the way down that rabbit hole. I mean, I think about the time that we got out of it, Sideshow was becoming kind of a thing. Like I remember Dad had like
Oh,
the some of the historical, like Billy the Kid, and I think like the Monty Python figures they were doing. So yeah,
they made
we went
Monty
pretty much all the
Python
way.
figures. That's awesome.
Yeah, Holy Grail figures. They
Yeah,
were
they had the
awesome
whole
too.
set.
They were
Nice.
That's
great. They came with awesome accessories. I mean, like Pat's like it came with like the coconut halves and
Nice.
the
that's
bunny and all kinds of
hilarious.
awesome stuff. Yeah, they were great.
Did one of them come with the killer rabbit?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Was
all
it
bloody on
Lancelot?
the face.
Was it? I can't remember who came with that one. I can't remember. One of them
Yeah,
definitely came with the rabbit.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
yeah. It was really common. We would buy the Real American Hero stuff, and that would be our head sculpt for that character, and then we would just. It wasn't uncommon for us to go to a toy show and buy, or to a store and buy a figure just because they had the rifle or the harness we wanted.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
you know, when we, in fact, that's one of the things when we moved. When I moved, uh, I couldn't get rid of those boxes of the figures that we had made. You know, a couple of them are really some of my favorite figures that we ever did, and we did kind of the non O-ring version of Heavy Duty where he had the do rag and his sleeves were exposed. We did a version of that, and that
That
is
was
one of
like
my
the
favorites and a
Joe
classic
versus Cobra, I think is
yeah,
when that one came out.
yeah, when they started out without O-rings and then changed them. So we did that Heavy Duty and a Dusty. We ended up with a Flint. And they're all like we did such an amazing job of putting them together. It just like I just didn't want to get rid of them until I go through them and put them together. Have a shelf of all those that
I
we put
love
together.
that you grew up customizing and that you all have been making figures of your own together for that long. My son and I, he's really into monster trucks. He's gotten me into monster trucks, and we've got the little 1/64th scale trucks. Then and he's discovered the company making them. They're screwed together. They're not riveted together like Mattel was doing for the Hot Wheels Monster Jam
Yeah.
stuff. So the Spin Master Monster Jam stuff now has a screw, so you can take it apart, and then the body comes off. The chassis can be switched between the I can't remember what he said the middle piece is called, but I didn't know what a chassis was until we started taking these chassis off the monster trucks. Okay, I had some vague idea in a real car, but I didn't really understand it. So, but yeah, he discovered a couple months ago that we could take them apart and switch them around. So, like, if he doesn't like the color combination, then he'll switch them around. Or if he thinks it doesn't fit that particular character, which is really what these trucks and their drivers are,
Sure.
um, yeah, we swap them around, and so yeah, and then he wants my input, and we'll decide on these things. We made a couple of custom trucks, that ones that they didn't make, so I guess it's been interesting because I I didn't before I had him, I wouldn't have guessed that monster trucks would be a thing for me, but apparently they are, and I get into it with him, and so I guess we're kind of making customs together too, but I hadn't
Yeah.
really. It's just become something that we do, so I hadn't really thought of it, but yeah. So you all have always been doing the same thing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
my next question is how did you get into customizing?
Yeah, it was just kind of part of it. I think once I found out that GI Joes had a screw in the back and that was all that held them together.
Yeah,
I mean, because we had like containers that was just parts, like because he would customize stuff. You know, he had this whole line of GI Joe character. He'd come up with this story, this like GI Joe like 2000 or something. He had come up with, and they were fully built figures, fully painted. Once I figured that one out, every time he was going outside to rattle can a body, I was right there with my palette of parts. Like yeah, spray these too. And then everybody has to learn the hard way that what kind of paints to use on what, and
Yeah.
Sharpie's not necessarily the best thing. So all those little challenges I got out of the way when I was 10 or 11 maybe.
That's
But yeah,
that
we've
is
always
so
been doing it.
cool. It is just
Absolutely.
so cool. My mom was artistic. I don't think my dad knew what art was, or creativity at all. He just wasn't. He's the logical one. My mom was the artistic one, so
Sure.
I've always understood it, but there wasn't a lot of art that we crossed over on that we could have made. So it's, although I'm pretty sure I did learn to paint by watching her, initially, because she'd get these exacting details, and I've caught myself doing the same stuff. So I'm like, all right, so I did sort of, but like you all have actually been making toys since he was old enough to not put them in his mouth, I guess.
Probably even then,
Oh,
honestly. you know.
so yeah, that's so cool. So, um, so now did you watch the cartoon? Did you read the comics when
I did both. So dad got a lot of recorded cartoons, like a giant box of VHS that was just somebody had just recorded just marathons of GI Joe cartoons. So not only did I get the cartoon, I got the fun commercials that went in between the cartoons that y'all got to enjoy.
Yeah.
So in the middle of watching cartoons, you'd get don't touch that door. You get all that, you get the fun, the PSAs, and Bugle Boy jeans would come on. You'd be like, what? These aren't a thing. Like, I didn't, I got to experience all that. So I watched cartoons so dad and I would essentially, anytime we could, we would like sprawl out like an entire room, and he would basically create a story, and we would set up Joes and Cobras and everything else and vehicles, and like get ready to play this scene out, right? And it could have been a movie we watched, and we're like, oh, we're gonna do that. And so while we were doing this, he would be crafting the story. So I think around the time that I started trying to implement my ideas, he was like, well, this is how it is in the cartoon. I think that was when he was like, okay, so there's this thing that's way better than cartoons. It's the comic book. Okay. You really want to know how stuff works? Let's start reading comic books. So it was the the DeSimone show in Illinois we went to, where I picked up my first comic of my own, and it was special issue number one because that cover sold me.
Oh yeah.
It was
torpedo
like it was like
wetsuit on the
50
ship?
cents. Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
good. They're all at the side of the boat. And it
Yeah.
was like that one, and I think the what is that one where it looks like a Flint's in a tank, and the welcome to Springfield signs like falling off a little bit. It was like just a few issues that the covers just sold me, and then I just started reading them, and I only had a handful, so he'd fill one in for me, and so I started reading comic books and kind of understanding a little bit more about the characters, and how some random jarhead isn't going to be behind the wheel of an F-14. Like that's not really how this works.
you mean Shipwreck shouldn't be flying the Sky Striker?
Yeah, get out of here, shipwreck.
I was just gonna say Shipwreck shouldn't be flying Sky Strikers. I was just gonna say that.
Shipwreck should not be on anything. Okay, he was flying. He had to just get out of here, guy. Yeah. So it was both. It was comics and cartoons. And now I have got a pretty disdain for the cartoon itself. Just don't want any part of it anymore.
I watch it and it's classic and I love it, but sometimes I can only watch an episode or two before I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah, it did.
like, this is so bad.
some of it aged really well, some of it not so much. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
mean age. I mean, some of it still is watchable, and it's kitschy enough to be entertaining, but
Sure.
some of it is just so cringy.
Yeah,
Sure. Every once in a while you had the Rise Serpentor Rise, stretch. You're like, this is actually pretty good,
right.
But then
That is one of
most of
my
the
favorite
time
pieces
that's
of
not
show
what you
media
get.
ever.
It's a good one. It's a great line. It's a great chain of cartoons.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I mean, I loved the five parters. I loved the cartoon, but that's the one that was on frequently, like rerun on TV, and so I watched that one a lot, and I loved it.
It's really
And to
good.
this day, that's still how I see some of those characters, like early in that arc. Uh,
Yeah.
just yeah, like I love that stuff.
Yeah, I've
Um,
watched a bunch of
Good
the
choice.
episodes over the last couple of years because I've done customs. I did the female range viper Evie, and
Yep.
then I did Mara for JD for our last custom challenge, and the custom challenge before that I did the Cadet Deming. So I watched
Hmm.
the episode, and yeah,
You also made a character from an alternate universe that was the daughter of Mainframe and Zorana from the
Oh,
episode
nice.
Computer Problems.
Yeah.
Because I because of that episode, I shipped those two, and so he made this, and he pulled it. It was a reimagined version of Valor versus Venom computer guy, hard drive, but
Yeah.
I think what you call her data frame or something. But
I don't remember.
yeah, it was like it was Rana and Mainframe's kid from that episode, and I'm like, oh hell yes.
That's
I,
pretty
I
cool.
and then I translated him in my own classified inferior, but it works version because I like
Good
the
enough.
character and I needed her as part of my classified stuff. But yeah, I yeah, I love that. So cartoon, I'm a big fan. So it's
Yeah, I can only watch so much of it, that's for sure. So yeah,
Yeah. Same.
so do you have a favorite line that you like to customize for like if like I always say this is my one of my favorite types of customs to make. Do you have a favorite type of custom to that you like to make?
Um, I mean, as far as the line goes, I am really enjoying customizing the classified stuff. It took me a couple of years to kind of warm up to it because I was a 4-inch modern. That was where it got me back into it. That was where I was. And I think it was around Torpedo when they released Torpedo, and I was like, man, that's a solid representation of Torpedo. And I was like, maybe I'll get a couple of them, and then now it's completely overrun anything else I do as far as custom stuff.
now you
Um,
all have made Star Brigade classified figures, and I want them. They're awesome. Um, when I
yeah,
saw red, yellow, black, ozone, I'm like, oh, those are customizers after my own heart.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
those were
had to find something to do with
good.
that Pimp Daddy Destro body, JD.
Yeah,
That color,
That's
there's not a lot of things that have that color. So
this is very true. It's there was a it was a it was a it was an interesting curiosity all those years ago, but I found it to be an overdone gimmick now for all the toy
for sure.
lines to do it. And
Yeah,
yeah, there is only so much you can do with it, but you know, that's yeah, it's pretty cool though.
yeah.
So what do you um what else do you what other lines have you customized, I guess?
Um, so I've done Marvel Legends, mainly for myself. I've done a little bit with Valiverse stuff. Looking to the side here, dabbled in McFarlane stuff, really just for myself, just to kind of like fill in some spots. That's pretty much it. Now, as far as just like something I like, I don't do a lot of customizing with them as of now, but Monster Force. I'm completely sold on all of the Monster Force stuff.
Yeah, I'm a huge Monster Force fan.
Hey, Brian, we found another one.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so good.
it was so
It's a
disappointing
good
that, like,
line.
yeah, like everybody I know that was going to Joe Fest was working a table. I'm like, I like nobody I could ask that would was going to pick up the exclusive figure for me.
Oh,
And it's like, because I'm like, oh, this person, oh nope, they're running a table. Oh, this person, nope, they're running a table. This person, nope. I went down like the list of everybody that I knew was going, and they were all running a table. And I'm like, God damn it.
man,
But I absolutely love the Monster Force stuff.
same.
I've done my own my own line of 4-inch original customs.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, about 12 of them, I think. So I
Yeah.
did,
Very cool.
yeah,
Some custom he did like 15 years ago. He finally
yeah,
had some stuff to go with it now.
yeah.
Nice.
Because I don't remember who did the kit. I think Alyosha did the kit maybe, but it was basically like a cybernetic Frankenstein, and
Oh, okay.
completely outside of any normal type of custom that I do. Um, and yeah, I did that. Yeah, probably about 15 years, probably more than 15 years ago, and it just sat around. And then I'm like, hey, this works perfect for Monster Force. Uh,
Yeah.
so I just did a card for it and put it on because I card all my customs. That's the best way that I found to keep track of them and not lose stuff. Um, so I did that, and then just kept coming up with ideas because I just love the Universal Monsters stuff and the realistic military and put that together, and it's just like, oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this is fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome. The storyline's cool. The figures are fantastic. I mean, just right out of the box, they're just joints or butter. I've never had any issue with them,
no,
but they're good. They're great, and I'm super excited about the stuff they've got coming. In the future.
yes,
Um, and Dad mentioned, we got to meet people that we've been working with, and Bill with Fresh Monkey Fiction was one of those people. Like I've done some paint work for them, so finally getting to talk to him and meet him was one of my favorite parts of Joe Fest because I get to finally like put a face and to the name, and but yes, the other stuff they've got coming is just so cool. Like the one thing that kind of sucks about the Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff is unlike Longbow, they're constantly telling you what else they're thinking.
yeah,
Longbow, they Dad and Troy like keep their stuff like close to the vest. Like I'm not going to overwhelm you. We'll get these to you, and then we can talk about what I got here. Whereas Fresh Monkey Fiction is like, I got this. I'm thinking about this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this again. And it's a lot. And you're like, how many pre-orders can I have on Big Bad Toy Store right now? Like,
have a
you
lot.
guys are killing me.
I
This
have a
is a
lot.
lot of money here.
Yeah.
Well,
I looked at my
and
numbers the other day and I'm like, ooh, yeah,
Very.
there's
Yeah,
a
it's bad.
monkey fiction on.
and
It's like peeking
well,
at your investment portfolio. It's like you don't really want to know. Just leave it alone.
Push
Keep your
back
well,
money in the bank.
retirement age a couple of years just so I can get the next line of Monster Force.
There you go.
Yeah.
it it
It's
doesn't help that Monster Force comes in two scales, and they're both scales are
True.
producing absolutely phenomenal stuff.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's not like one is suffering at the expense of the other. No, they're
Nope.
both dynamite fucking lines. I don't have any of
Yeah.
it. I love it. I can't, but and even if I wanted to, because there were a few I wanted, like once Brian got some of the 6-inch ones, he showed me like he took pictures of the Delta Red figures.
Oh, so,
I
Yeah.
was immediately jealous. So I went to
so
Big Bad
good.
Toy Store, pre-order sold out. I'm like, fuck. So, and I check every once in a while,
Literally.
and I'm like,
Right
nope,
there.
nope,
They're
because
right there. I
yeah,
love that
I
figure.
just
So good.
some of those figures are ones that it really hurt that I couldn't, but that one is like that's like a one that got away situation. I feel like,
Sure.
When
Sure.
when I unboxed that the first time, I set it down, I picked up my computer and I ordered another one. Nope, I need another one of those right now.
Yep. Yep. And the red shadows were the same for me. And I was like, I can't not have two of these. Like I gotta have some symmetry. So I'm gonna order another one. And I even took them into my local comic shop and talked because like every week I go in there and I hang out and talk to the owner, you know. And I was like, have you heard of these? And he's like, no. And I was like, I brought one in my car. Let me go get it. And brought it in. I was showing him, and he's like, why would you do this to me? I thought we were friends. And I was like, you have to know, dude, these are some of the best action figures I've ever played with. Like, they're kind of expensive, okay? But I mean, we're not talking about like crazy expensive. Like, it's not like a Mezco, you know,
It's not Hot
it's not a
Toys.
Mafex, it's not a hot toy. You know, we're
Yeah.
talking like around 40 with shipping. Like, but look how badass it is. Look how many parts it comes with. Like, it's so good.
Yeah. But we're we had Bill on the show when we were doing the audio podcast for the when he did his very first Kickstarter for Eagle Force Returns, and we just have not been able to connect with him again to get him back on the show, because that's, to me, that's like we always ask, who do you guys want to see on the show? Who do you want to talk to? What customizer, what toy maker, who do you want to see on the show? And we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because we like taking requests. Like if and we do read the comments, and if we see a suggestion or a request, it's like, and then we'll discuss it. And if at all possible, we'll make it happen.
I mean,
That's why we have you all talented people on the show with us.
I mean, that's how we got Dayton from Sithfire 30 on the show, was so, somebody requested him and he said yes. And, we've been really good friends for the 15 years since then. And Bill is at the top of my list of the people that I want to get back on the show, because
For sure.
I really
Me
want
too.
I really want to, like, I love your shit and look what I made this, and I just want to fucking fanboy out and
For sure. Yeah. I get it. I get it.
we had Scott on the show from Grindhouse a couple of weeks ago to help pimp his Kickstarter, which, by the way, anybody watching that funded, they had a big push right at the end and unlocked all of their stretch goals. So
Did they get the last one unlocked? I forgot to check.
they did. With like 25 minutes left, they got the last figure unlocked. So
yeah, that was incredible. I didn't realize how many stretch goals they actually had, because when we had them on the show, and I checked the Kickstarter before that, I had seen like one or two, but I hadn't seen a whole list. I don't know if I just didn't scroll far enough, or
and he had
I don't know, but I was like, holy shit, and they just kept falling. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. And we're gonna have him back on the show, like we with the Skeletron guys, when the stuff, and you guys, when the stuff comes out, to do the unboxing with them.
That's cool.
As many podcasts as those guys were on, we're the only show that had the creators on for the unboxing. So we're not big, we're not fancy, not everybody knows us, but to me, that's a point of pride, is that we had the creators on the show as we unboxed. And
Absolutely.
I know you guys, you and Troy, absolutely love that. And Ben just was over the moon that we had him on the show, that we waited that long, because we got our Robo Skulls in the mail, and we had him sitting for like a week before we unboxed him, before we could schedule the show. And he's just like, I can't believe you guys waited this long to have us on the show to do the unboxing. So
once Call Sign Longbow ships, Troy and John, they're gonna have to be back on the show. So it's not like a Zoom kidnapping. It's just an expectation.
It is,
because I would like to unbox, and open some of my Call Sign Longbow with you all on the show, because that was epic. I am so excited about Call Sign Longbow. I am so damn excited about that toy line.
Oh, we will definitely be there for
Um,
It's
because I just between the Krosny Ninja and all the and I love all the code names you all came up with. I need those toys. So um so what outside of customizing, what do you nerd out about? Oh, wait. Should that lead into our questionnaire, Brian?
gonna say
that.
now we're starting to get into questionnaire territory. So yeah, go ahead and
Mm.
answer that question, and then JD will start asking, and then we will do the general geekery question.
Um, so quick background for the person who hasn't done the questionnaire before. We totally stole this idea and the initial list of questions from Stephen Colbert, but we've changed a bunch of it. We've twisted it up, made it our own questionnaire, really geeky centric. But um, uh, John did this when he was on the show with Troy last time, but um,
It's not
we have new blood, and we'd like to. I was going to say administer the questions, but you know what? I was watching Andor. That kind of language is terrifying. So we would like to ask you the questions and get your answers, please.
Let's do
Um,
it. Let's do it.
if you haven't watched Andor season 2, folks,
oh yeah.
watch it. I
Yeah.
don't even care if you like Star Wars. Watch it. It
Yeah.
It
is.
is so good.
It
It's
is.
on my list. It's on my list.
It is one of the
Same.
best things I've watched on television this year. Maybe last year too.
That's a bold statement.
Season 1 was
That
great.
is bold.
Season 2 was better.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt
It
the
is.
same way. I think it wasn't so much, I mean, the story is great and all of that. It's just that how it showed us, everybody's kind of been kind of dainty about what the Imperials are and what a threat they are. But in that season 2, we really see just how
There is.
calculating and ruthless they can be, and that is for me as a as a fan for as long as as long as there's been Star Wars,
Yeah.
that was so cool. I mean, everybody likes the bad guys, right? And in the Darth Vader story is the Darth Vader story, but man, to see like outside of the Jedi, like just how they were and how they operated, I loved that. I mean, yeah, we got familiar with how the rebellion started in the first season, but man, this was more like kind of showed you just how easily they could have been crushed with just one wrong piece of information. Or man, I just the spy side of it, I love that. I just man, it
It
was so cool.
it's a great spy show, and every episode was tense. There's those parts where you're not moving, you might be forgetting to breathe. It's really just it is just excellent television.
It's
Star
very
Wars
well written.
notwithstanding. And I love Rebels, and I love seeing the comedic stormtroopers, the comedic things they do on that show with the stormtroopers. But it was nice. And, we see them in the movies, and they're scary looking, but mostly useless. This was, holy shit, this was just spy work at its best. It was absolutely
It
phenomenal.
was.
So
All
if you
right.
haven't watched it, you should.
All
But
right.
anyways,
Start the questionnaire there.
yeah. Sorry.
And or ran over.
All right. So first question: what is the best sandwich?
We ask the hard questions here.
Oh,
We
that's a
do.
hard hitting question for
It really
sure.
is.
Oh, it only
It
Oh,
really is.
shoot.
Yeah, it only gets worse from
God. I mean, for me, it's probably like a buffalo chicken sandwich.
Oh,
I love a good buffalo chicken sandwich. That's almost my like how I find out if a restaurant's any good. Like, what's their buffalo chicken? What are we talking about? Is it a fritter? Are we talking like a piece of chicken breast? What are we doing? I'm gonna go with buffalo chicken sandwich.
All right.
that's an
Final answer.
excellent choice.
I like and first one to say that. What is one thing that you own that you should really throw out?
Hmm. Probably the packaging for these toys. Get rid of this. Why do I keep this?
That was my answer as well.
Yeah, I gotta free them, let them breathe.
We did
But the boxes are a lot of them are really nice and
It's true. It's true.
really nice.
But am
last
I ever gonna want to move them? No.
no
No.
last year,
The
JD
hard lesson to learn.
a string of shows, right? Boxed stuff. I mean, we did what 4 or 5 shows where it was just me opening shit.
Yeah, he opened. I'm not exaggerating. Probably 90 action figures
My
between a
gosh.
few episodes. All 4-inch stuff, some 6-inch stuff that had just been sitting in packages because he didn't have his display the way he wanted it.
Yeah,
Fair.
So he
Understand
just
that.
went on these splurges where he just grabbed these cards because he put all these shelves up so he could display it all. And so he just started opening stuff. He never wanted to be a mint and package collector. It just wound up being that way.
Yeah.
I understand. I get that. I get that.
Some of those toys were what 10 years that like they were early vintage collection Star Wars stuff. Like
Oh wow.
yeah, we
there
had
was
like single digit vintage collection figures.
yeah
Jeez.
there was there was at least I think there were 2 figures from the Force Awakens Black Series.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that's pretty bad.
I think I threw away three lawn bags full of from that.
Right before the move, the first thing I decided to condense was I had every classified figure still in the box. I mean, I always bought doubles to do customs and stuff like that with, but I had everyone in the box. And I just said, okay, I'm gonna unbox them, put them in bags, label them, and put them in a tub. And there were enough classified figures only to fill one of those 27-gallon tubs. And they're all
holy
bagged.
shit.
I mean, it's no packaging. That is filled to the brim. It's one of the heaviest boxes I had to move. But yeah, 3 trash bags. I think there were 5 or 6 trash bags. I broke down the vehicles and put them in the box and bags. And holy cow, there was a lot. And I had just saved them
Yikes.
because it's easier. They're already all the weapons. You always know what goes to who, and it's all just in the package, and that's how
Right.
it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so every bag has a number and what figure it is on it. And I'll put those up someday. But I never could figure out how I was going to display them all. So boxes worked, but then I had a shelf upstairs. I had 2 shelves in the basement full of boxed figures. Okay, I know what they are. Let's just
Yeah.
put them in a. That was the first thing I condensed when I started the move, and it's probably the only good move I made in the whole thing. But I did get rid of a lot of boxes.
Yeah, it was crazy. All right, JD.
All right, so what is the scariest animal?
Scariest animal. Dang, that is tough. I guess I just keep coming back to my mom if I don't answer a text. It's terrifying. Ah,
I can see that.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't. What took so long? It's been
yeah,
what took so long?
Are you okay?
yeah.
Are you okay?
Yes. Because that one text leads to 6 other people like, "Hey, are you all right?" And it's like, "I'm fine, guys. It's okay. I was taking a shower. It's all right." Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I mean, anything you don't know is there, and you reach into and find something is in there is terrifying.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, just like reaching into a box and feeling fur. You're like, oh no, what is that? You have no idea what it is. Or
Um,
God forbid it has scales.
yeah, or poisonous appendages.
Or it feels like a spider, for God's
Ugh.
sakes. I don't even have like a terrible fear of spiders, but that feeling without being able to see it, awful.
Yeah. I yeah, it makes me think of the scene from Flash Gordon where he's sticking his arm in the tree stump.
Yeah, I could never do that.
Yeah, I'm like,
No,
oh, boy, I
no.
wouldn't do that. Let's see here. The next question is coffee. How do you take it?
I don't.
That seems to be a fairly common answer, surprisingly
Yeah,
enough.
not a coffee guy. Not a coffee guy. I usually in the morning it's usually unsweet tea. It's usually in the morning that's just cold tea. That's what I like.
All right.
That's why Mikey has better hair than me, I think.
Is that what it is?
He does have nice hair, dude. I admire anybody that can do a pompadour.
Yes.
My my hair has never been that cooperative for one. Um, so have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
Yeah. There's been a few people I've asked for their autograph. Larry Hama's probably the only one I've done it multiple times.
Fair enough.
Because
Um,
I'm not an autograph guy, but you know, I had a
it's
couple of
Larry Hama.
books and
Yeah.
I wanted a signature. And I the first time I had the second time, I had classified LERP team, all three of them with me. And I was like, can I get a picture with you, these, and issue 26? And he's like, sure.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't used to be an autograph guy until I started making customs and going to
Oh yeah.
conventions. And then it's like, and then getting feedback from the artists that I'd made them of. Oh, I need to start getting these like like photo ops and
I saw the
Yes.
pictures. Alan Tudyk was very happy, very excited to see this custom that you made of him.
oh yeah,
Like,
That would be a good one.
he
That
was
would be a good one.
he thought that was the greatest thing he had ever seen. And I showed Brendan Fraser my Rick O'Connell custom
Oh, sweet.
and
Yeah.
asked him to hold it. We were gonna do this on another show, but yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, we're gonna do a recap of Denver
Awesome.
Comic Con. So we'll save that
Yeah, that's awesome.
for another time. And then thank you guys who watched that episode. So um what do you think happens when we die?
Um, hmm. Well, I had a pretty similar upbringing as my father did. Not quite as rigid, I would say. Um, but I think there's energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. So I firmly believe that there's a repurposing of your energy, your consciousness, your soul, whatever it is. Um, it's hard for me to accept that when you die, you just go up into a gallery and watch everybody live, especially because the living really isn't the reward. So why would you, once you win the race, why would you want to watch people warm up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
So there's definitely very basic Judeo-Christian belief set, but it's a repurposing in my mind. That's kind of a amalgamation of several things, I guess.
um, favorite action movie or action franchise if you can't narrow it down.
It doesn't really help.
It does not.
I mean, I love all the populars, Commando and Predator and Aliens and all those, but there's one that not a lot of people talk about, and I absolutely love it and all of its campiness, and it's Navy SEALs.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
love Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
It's got everybody you need in an action movie.
Yeah, Charlie
Like
Sheen, Michael Bien. Mike Bien's
Bill
come.
Paxton, like it's great. It's a great movie. It's super goofy, but you know,
Mike
it's
Bian's
got everything you need.
convention here in a couple months. I'm going to do a Kyle Reese custom to get autographed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I've
I'm
seen
going with
Navy
Navy SEALs
SEALs.
because it needs some representation. I'll stand with Navy SEAls.
I like
I
that. That's a good choice.
I've seen it, but I know it better as the joke from Clerks. Hey, Navy SEALs. So, but yeah, it's a good choice. Yeah, we haven't heard that answer before.
No, I
Yes.
absolutely love
Original answers.
Yeah, I absolutely love that opening sequence.
Awesome.
Favorite smell.
Favorite smell. It's really tough to beat like fresh leather. Like I absolutely love that. It's up there with like pipe tobacco for sure.
Yeah.
But I think leather. Like I could go to a leather store and not buy anything and just walk around and just absorb the smell. And I have done that.
There used to be
Um,
a place in the mall real close to where I live that was a leather store right next to a coffee store right next to a tobacco shop.
oh my gosh.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
That's intense.
Yeah, and just walk through there and it's just like
it'll
this,
be like olfactory sensory overload.
Yeah, like I mean, you're just missing like fresh ground coffee and fresh baked bread. Like that's like the if in that moment I died a happy man.
yeah,
Just the
exactly.
smells.
Absolutely. It's just like my favorite spot to go and just like
Oh, yeah,
That's
deep
awesome.
full lungs. Yeah.
fresh leather, the fresh
Oh,
ground coffee, and the
so
pipe
good.
tobacco. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
On
nice.
the other side, what is your least favorite smell?
It's got to be the smell of death. Like when you drive past a ditch and you're like, oh, like it just, man, it hits you just like a brick wall,
Yeah.
and it doesn't leave. Like it's not, you can't roll the window down and it leave. Like it's in there for a good 5 to 10.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that because that's what I said. I've been a paramedic for 25 years, and the first time I smelled dead blood. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I went with as well. So
Yeah, and if there's any chance of some kind of like burnt hair mixed with it, that's 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
want to be a part of it.
Nope. Absolutely.
oh,
Yeah. No. That's yeah.
That got dark.
No, it's really hard to
Whoops.
really hard to disagree with that. Let's see. What was your first concert?
Metallica.
Ooh, that's a
your
good.
Yeah.
first concert was Metallica?
First concert was Metallica. I
Hey,
didn't go
shit.
to a concert until I was in high school.
For
Yeah,
what?
but
What?
still, Metallica.
Death Magnetic,
Okay.
2009. Yeah.
2009. Okay. Nice. Yeah, that
It was a hell of a first show for sure.
yeah, absolutely. I have not seen Metallica, so that would be definitely. I've talked about like if I had a time machine, that would be what I would use it for, would be to go see like all of the Monsters of Rock tours,
Oh man.
see Metallica
Yeah.
back in the day, Van Halen back in the day, all of those guys. That's what I would do with a time machine is I go see concerts. So
That
Metallica,
would be an amazing use of that power.
You meet somebody with a time machine. It's like, what have you done with it? Oh man, it's all Leonard Skinner,
yes,
Led Zeppelin.
I followed Elvis on the Hayride tour. Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, went to
just
see,
naming some random stuff like no presidents. The presidents don't put on concerts.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I was there for Roy Orbison's Black and White night.
yeah, rooftop Beatles concert, yeah, yeah, there would be,
It took me 3 trips to get into that show.
Yeah.
Had to go back a little further and make a tie somewhere here, and then I was there.
Yeah.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
yes. Uh, JD's favorite question.
Soda or pop?
Uh At different times, I think I've used both. The only one I've never used is calling anything Coke. I don't go with the Southern, but uh, I've definitely done pop and soda. I think I prefer soda. Soda feels more grown up, but it's tough. It's tough to want to be more grown up when it comes to a carbonated sweet beverage. So it's kind of fun to use pop every once in a while. Yeah, it's soda. It's soda.
This is when people tune
Does
in.
anybody say both? Because I know people that say
No,
soda pop
no, you're the
regularly.
first
Yeah.
person
Okay.
that's column a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So usually it's it's actually you're the first person that's had a decent reaction to that question because most of the time we do enough of talking to the person on the show that we know where you live and we know what the answer is going to be because most of this time this is a regional thing.
That's true. And I mean, even regionally, I'm on that line. Like
Yeah,
Kansas City
I
is
I
part
said
Midwest, part Southern.
Yeah.
I said pop until I was 12, and I went to St. Louis with my folks, and we went somewhere, and the lady asked if I wanted a soda, and I just kind of looked at her funny, and my mom said it's pop. They say pop here. I was like, oh yeah, and then on the way home, I was like, soda, soda, okay,
It
okay.
feels cooler. It's like the
And then I
speakeasy
just
way to
started
call
saying
it.
it all the time, and if I'm with somebody and they say pop all the time, I'll say, "Do we need to get pop?" But most of the time, I'll say, "Let's go get a soda," or "Will you pick me up a soda?" Or
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So yeah, definitely the first person that's a little column A, a little column B.
and if you use soda, like it includes like seltzer water and mixers,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it's carbonation, right? And you're just
Yeah.
making the
yeah,
distinction.
just soda water.
What is the most used app on your phone?
Probably camera.
Okay.
As a customizer, I'm taking pictures all the time. And at work I use it a lot too. It's probably the camera. Social media is probably unfortunately up there way too high, but
Uh, I think we could all agree to that, that it's
yeah,
higher than we would like.
it's too high. It should not be. Whatever it is, it's too high.
No argument.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what song plays when you walk on screen? I love this question. What's your theme song, sir? What's your entry music?
Well, I know Dad's a space lord, so I won't take that.
It was.
Mine's
That's right. That was his answer.
yeah, I know it is. I know it is. Mine is probably,
Funny.
ironically, it's probably the song that Space Lord replaced for him. It's probably Warrant Machine Gun.
All right.
That's tough not to get pretty jazzed up about because it's kind of a slow start with like the drums, and then it just wow, goes right into it. Yeah, it's Machine Gun that gets me psyched.
Excellent. I like it. Uh, let's see here. What number am I thinking of?
27.
Nope.
Shoot.
Good Lord, son! I just thought 27 too. That's wild.
Oh damn it! You screwed me up.
I did. I just thought.
You
I
know
think
there's.
that
Damn it!
I think
I'm too close now. I'm too close. We went from 3 hours to an hour and a half, and now I'm too close.
Now you're
this is
affecting
the
my
first
psychic
time.
waves.
This is the first time that we've had a psychic family connection there to influence answers and shit. So
here on General Geekery first.
Maybe it's because we were talking about magician or musicians, and the 27 Club is so runs so thick, and in that maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was just my dad messing with me, but
Sorry.
damn it.
And there is an answer to that, and nobody has gotten it yet.
Wow.
So
somebody got it on a second guess, but we stopped second guessing.
So describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
This is a tough one.
Man.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of Colbert's that we did not change because it's fucking epic.
That is a doozy.
It is.
I love that
Hmm.
question.
Yeah, I absolutely love it too. I hated answering it, but I love
Oh,
it.
that sucked. Yeah, but I love asking it.
Yeah. Hmm. Think about that. Man. Hmm. All right. Let's go. Let's go with happy, entertained. We'll go with moderately successful. So we'll go two on that one. I'll waste two. So last one. Um, I'll go honest, and it'll probably be irritated. Will be the word irritated. Let's just be frank. That's probably going to be it.
No,
I'll be happy, but I'm probably
yeah,
going to be irritated too.
dude, I exist in both states frequently, most of the time, maybe all the time. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like Bruce Banner a lot. It's just like I am Bruce, but there's this other thing in here you need to know about.
No, no, that's hard to argue. Aisle or window seat?
Window.
Yes, my man.
Yeah, I'm a window guy.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
All right. Best action figure.
Best action figure.
Like I said, we ask the hard questions on this show.
Whoa.
Don't worry,
This
Mikey. Only like
Whoa.
every person you have ever painted a sample for is listening.
At least a couple of them might be listening. So
No pressure.
Ooh. Mm-mm-mm. Best action. I'm gonna go with the one that I remember picking out of the shelf first. The first toy I can remember buying or having my dad buy for me, and that's the GI Joe Classic Collection British SAS from like 1994.
Love it. I love it.
That's the one that started everything for me in my mind. So I'm going with that.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
a way of doing that. Again, I don't think anybody else has done it quite like that. So
I feel like it's a pretty political answer. Like I avoided everybody that I've done work for and still paid homage to it.
thanks, Dad, for getting the bacon out of the fire on that one.
Thanks, Pop.
It's my pleasure.
It doesn't get any easier because I now am going to ask you what your favorite custom is that you've done.
God Almighty. mm.
If it helps, you can pick a favorite and a runner-up.
You know that does not help though.
No, yeah,
no. He's just making it worse.
I can't imagine that being of any help at all.
Favorite custom. Let me look on the gallery of things I have left.
I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, let me look at the memory wall here.
Yeah.
I
don't even remember what I chose.
Favorite custom.
I don't remember what you chose either.
I don't either.
Sometimes my brain retains random shit like that, but not in this case.
I think we're gonna have to do this show again. You and I.
Our own that we got to answer the questions again.
Do a refresher.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah,
because we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we've had all of our old guests that we've had on previously come back just to do the questionnaire. So,
oh wow,
yeah. So we definitely get everybody who's newly on the show hooked, and we haven't had anybody that hasn't been willing to play to play along. So,
Everybody's
It's just become a feature that I like getting you get to know people with these questions. They're
Definitely.
and
Yeah, I told
my mom will watch the show. She'll like, did you guys do the questionnaire on this show? Yes. Okay, then I'll watch it. Did you guys do the questionnaire on this show? No, it was just me and JD talking. I'm not watching that episode then. All right, that's
I
fine.
told Mikey it was my favorite part of being on the show was the questions.
Yeah.
They're really good questions. All
they're
right, all right, all right. Let me think.
It's
yeah,
okay if it's not
I
V2 sci-fi, Mikey.
I mean, I am looking at them, and of stuff I have right now, that probably is my favorite
That
of.
figure is fire.
It's really good. It's really good.
wait, which one's
Um,
sci-fi? Oh, the Star Brigade one?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well, it was
I
pre-Star Brigade.
yeah, it was pre-Star. Yeah, the Star Brigade one was the white and teal one. This one was the black one.
Because if you guys,
oh, I was thinking of
oh
okay.
yeah, look at that.
Oh my god.
That's pretty.
That's a
We,
custom.
we are an effective team.
That
Yes, that is pretty.
is fucking gorgeous.
Thank you.
It is.
That's the kit. That's the kit that one of the kits that Dad makes. So
I
Nice.
didn't used to have sci-fi on a list of shit I wanted to see get classified. And I still don't if it's just the green one. But now the gray sci-fi version 2 is on my classified wish list.
yeah,
And if they can update that as effectively as they updated this son of a bitch,
Oh yeah.
I am
that's a
all
good
in.
looking figure.
Or if they can do that with green sci-fi to this level,
That would be good.
I might be in for that too.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I like that. JD, I think it's your question.
Okay.
Yes.
One geek grail. Let's pretend money's no option. It can be whatever you wish, whatever geeky thing you wish you could have or own or whatever.
This is pretty fresh in my mind. It's probably because Chris Scott was on my show last Thursday, but first appearance of Punisher would be pretty amazing. But does it rank higher than X-Men Annual Giant Size Annual? Probably
Spider-Man.
not. That's probably mine. It's probably X-Men Giant Size Annual.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic choice too. I actually had of 129 when I was a kid, and my dad kicked me out of the house and got rid of my comic books.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was I had every appearance of the Punisher and every appearance of Venom in that
brutal.
and a full run of G.I. Joe.
Oh man,
And that all went away. So
it's a terrible story.
yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Awful.
Oh my God.
Just awful.
On that note, who is your favorite comic book artist?
Another easy to answer question.
I feel more prepared for that one, but I still don't have like a quick answer for it because I mean I grew up with Jim Lee,
Right?
but
Of course.
how do you pass up like Mike Zeck?
Those were the two names that I had in my mind. Right?
Oh shit! Now you're psychically influencing shit. Oh.
Yep. I'm like Jim Lee. I'm like, nah, Mike Zack. So
I love Jim Lee, but God, Mike Zeck is just it's so good to me.
yeah,
Mike
Zack. Mike
He
Zack.
did the cover where it's Snake Eyes and Scarlet in the minefield, right?
Yeah, I think that's one of Mike Zack's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
he
is
did
one
that
of my favorite covers in the entire vintage
issue
Marvel.
63.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite cover arts. That number 47 with Wetsuit and General Hawk and Beachhead and the Devilfish.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Those are my two
That's a good
favorite
one.
covers from the Marvel Joe run.
Yeah,
I
into the
fucking
Series.
Did he do this one?
No, that's Michael Golden.
That's golden on that one.
Yep.
I like this one, but yeah, dude, I gotta go Mike Zek. I gotta go with Zek.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Zek.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can't argue with that. JD.
He bailed. He's done with this.
He said, if you're going to pick Mike Zeck, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Is that Mike Zeck? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Michael Golden was supposed to be at Denver Comic Con this year, but he did not make it, unfortunately.
That's funny that's the one you guys are talking about, since that's this poster right here.
Oh, nice.
I have that poster autographed by Golden. He was here a couple years ago, and I got it autographed.
That's cool. I would love to get this autographed.
Yeah.
I have Zeck's Special Missions #1. That one's autographed by Mike Zeck, but this one would be my second.
I love the back cover of that. Actually, because I'm a Cobra guy. So, the bad guys.
October Guard.
Oh,
yeah,
I love October that. Guard. Hey,
yes.
I got that issue down there too. I've been rereading those a couple times in the last couple weeks. So holy shit!
And the back.
We love those guys enough that was our second kit.
Yeah.
For the debuted at the show.
Oh, nice.
Holy fuck.
That is fantastic.
Dude. Man, you are an effective team. To put it mildly. Holy shit.
Both of those figures on Mikey's JMK Custom Works show that he does on Wednesday nights, both of those figures have a full rundown of how to build the kit and what he did to make them.
Yeah. I painted them live over a few weeks.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right, JD, I think the next one's yours.
Yeah. Your favorite music soundtrack or musical, if you prefer. Favorite music soundtrack. No pressure, but this one's hard.
That is tough, because I'm also a vinyl guy. So like music is a big thing.
Well, you must really enjoy that vinyl made a comeback. Who saw that going?
Yes and no. I mean, it kind of drove up the price. But it has made stuff more available. I have to give it that.
I could see that.
Yeah, but so much stuff they're doing now is like limited quantities, and it's like, ooh, I'm glad I don't have to fight somebody for that.
Yes.
Gimmicky sci-fi or gimmicky Transformers the movie soundtrack release with like a die cut something, and I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. I'm like, I remember thinking if Brian bought vinyl stuff or Transformer stuff, like wacky stuff like that, you would have bought something like that.
Yeah, anything in gimmicky packking, I'm a sucker.
Yeah, you love gimmicky packaging.
Yeah, it's tough to beat. It's good. Man, that is tough. I'm a big fan of the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. It's my favorite genre of music. Is that era, the early '60s, late '50s stuff.
Okay.
So that's probably my favorite one to listen to just all the way through.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. And last but not least, who is your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? It's probably, he's looking over my shoulder. It's probably Wolverine. It's probably my favorite. Although, I mean, realistically, Colossus is my favorite hero. Like he is my favorite. Wolverine's, he's a jerk. He's a loner. He's super badass, but
all except the badass I can relate to. Oh shit, we lost John.
Well,
Pop, it's just a hypothetical thing.
He's mad that you didn't say him.
You said superhero. That's something extra. You didn't say hero. That's a loophole.
There you go.
I'm gonna say Colossus. Colossus is my favorite hero through and through.
I like that. That's
I
a
just
good
don't have a shelf. I just don't have a shelf for him. He's up there,
Um,
but I don't have a full shelf for him.
so, um, so really, you, my God, you've really been doing this all your life. That is epic.
Yeah,
I mean, off
Dude, this
off
makes
and
me
on. I
so
mean,
happy to hear that
absolutely.
that that there were there were kids of Joe fans that embraced it so wholly, and starting with the fact it was around, and you genuinely got into it.
definitely, yeah,
So that's just so cool.
yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, it was. I mean, like I said, I got the tail end of A Real American Hero. Because by the time I was of age, like you could still find, Star Brigade figures on card. Like I remember ripping open Countdown. He was Countdown, yeah. So I remember some of that, but at that same time, you could also go to like a GI Joe show and you could get Fun School stuff for like $1.
Oh, I remember.
And you got to experience ripping those open, and Sky Street Hawk, and
Yes. I am
they
so
were so cheap.
I am so mad I passed that up. I love that figure.
He's just yeah, it's
The
and then
fun school
not long
stuff,
after that, his Fun
the
School stuff
fun
was
school
awesome.
stuff is so expensive now. Like all of it is. Like,
Crazy, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, some of it is reasonable-ish, but some of it is just unbelievable because anybody who can remember back to the early odds when Small Joe's and
Yeah.
other online retailers were carrying the Fun School stuff,
Yeah,
it was
Give it
everywhere. It was readily available. It
Yeah,
was
you could
easy
give it away.
building and shit. It
it
was
was
great
given. I was
custom
given
fodder.
away
I bought it
exactly.
back then for
Yeah.
that. And in the process, I fell in love with the Fun School line. One time in my life, I have done a cosplay for a convention. For the final Joe convention in 2018 in Chattanooga, Tennessee,
Oh, there we go. There's John back.
I cosplayed as Fun School Cross Country.
Now that is bold.
I had the red vest. I bought a kepi hat and I dyed it yellow and I went nuts. And I shaved the beard off the day of the convention, so I just had the stash. And I love the Fun School line. So I didn't know it existed until yojo.com back in the but you were the age that I wish I had discovered Fun School when you actually discovered Fun School.
Right.
The Fun School Toxo Viper is one of the few specialty Vipers I don't have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have almost every specialty Viper that has ever been made. There's there's a couple conventions, like Python convention ones that I'm missing, but that is one that I do not have is the Fun School Toxo Viper.
That's a wild one.
It
Yeah,
is.
they were so cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
it was easy for us to go to a show and he could actually get something that he was actually like looking for, like a grill piece or something.
Yes, I know.
And then, I could get a
There's
couple of Fun
puppies.
Schools for $5 and both of us were happy and I was ripping new Joes off the card and
Yeah.
they were Fun Schools, so they were probably falling off the card anyway, but yeah, and then 97 came and they got, they did a bunch of horrible repaints, some good, but some horrible repaints. And I got to experience those and new vehicles, the new Slugger and the Rage they re-released,
Yes.
and then
I
when they came out with the Real American Hero collection and did a bunch of really nice repaints, I got all of that like right in those formal years. Like I got to enjoy, the red and blue repainted ice cream soldier. It was a shock trooper. It was like
Shock
this
Troop.
is
Yeah.
so good.
Fuck yeah.
That Shock
Um,
Trooper was one of the hardest ones for me to get because it came with that black Serpent, the version 2 Serpent.
Like, oh, Serpentor, so cool.
I love
that
So
is such
cool.
a slick figure. I badly want to see Hasbro do not re-release Serpentor, but do repaint him. Repaint him in the black and
Yeah.
green and gold. Repaint him like that.
Yeah. I passed
Never
on.
mind
I
some
considered
retro
buying one
re-release.
just to do that. Like I wanted to do it because I think that figure is so cool. But I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't spend
Not,
$180 to custom. I say
I was
that
gonna
and I
say, fuck
repainted a
no, not
hiss, you know, like
Yeah.
I. I was lucky. I was lucky enough to get one because my buddy Ryan Sweeney bought a second one. So he actually he let me he hooked me up with it because otherwise there was no way I was gonna have one.
No, no,
Um,
no. I tried a couple times and couldn't get it, and I'm like, ah. But
but
yeah,
that was the last exclusive that I was really dead set that I absolutely had to have because, and I'm
right.
glad because some of these are just you crazy? No.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
insane.
would love to do a custom of that, but again, yeah, I just can't afford it.
Not paying that. I'm not paying that.
So I'm hoping that they'll do a retro version and that the retro version will come in those colors. And if it doesn't, I'm still going to get it and I'm going to do a black and
Yeah, 20, even if it's a deluxe and it's paying 35, I'll do that. That's fine.
yeah.
I don't expect it to come with a chariot. Like that's the
No,
thing I expect them to be
yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure
nope,
the
we'll
Air
give you
Chariot
Serpentor,
is
chariots
pretty
out.
sure the Air Chariot's a one and done. I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see them redoing.
Could they repaint it? Yes.
Will they? I don't think so.
Will they?
I
I don't
doubt it.
think they will, but it is
Probably
it
not.
is a great beast.
It is. It's really nice.
Yeah.
The chariot is so
It
cool.
is way more of an overhaul, update, rescale it than they really need it. Like they almost went too. They made it awesome, but they went to lengths they didn't need to, and that's what made it awesome. But at the same time, it's like I really
Yeah.
need the figure, though. I need the figure.
We are right at 2 hours. So
Ooh.
Well, so real quick, tell the folks listening about Mikey about your shows and John about the show that you all do together that we crossed over with. And this was
uh,
great.
Yeah, so I'm live every Wednesday, 6:30 Central Time, with JMK Custom Works Live, where I do live customizing. And I try not to work on that project through the week, but Brian, you probably know what that's like when you got something on your desk and you want to get to that next stage. So sometimes a paint process gets skipped and you don't get to see it. But I try to do that. Now I've got my one of my good buddies, Tony, with Legend Series Photography, is going to be on there with me, doing co-host stuff. Thursday night, I've got Figure It Out with me and Zakanen, and it rotates between our channels. Um, so that
Oh,
one
that's cool.
we have a guest on, and we usually do like a top five, unless we make an exception, like we had World War Hell, last week to talk
right.
about that, to drive that Kickstarter, and so we're still kind of, well, we're figuring it out. But so that's 9 o'clock Central Time Thursday nights, and then every other Sunday, Dad and I do a couple of Kuks, which is kind of the stuff that him and I are working on, like 3D modeled kits and stuff, and then usually upcoming, I turn one of those kits into JMK Custom Works Live, and we get to kind of show off what the final result is.
Nice.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
Nice.
And
I
And it gives
admire
us a
that kind of
chance to
regularity, dude. That's dedication. Wow.
it
absolutely.
gives us a chance also to if we come out with a kit, then it gives us a chance those two shows, the one that we do together and then the one that he does on the Wednesday night, the tutorial stuff, it gives us a chance to show people like this is, you buy the kit and here's what you do to build it. We don't make it overcomplicated. We try to make the kit parts to where they just snap on and snap over what's already there. The
Nice.
big one that is done that we'll be talking about Sunday is the Spaceman kit, which is after doing the Buzz Lightyear custom work that we did to do the Star Brigade, I was going to keep going with that and do something else with it. And then I was talking to Mikey and I said, why don't I just design a new one? And so that is what it is. And it's
Nice.
taken me way longer to do than I planned. But the result is super good. It's gonna be cool. And we did show a version of it at the DFW. We finally had enough parts to put together to show one.
Nice.
So it takes the Destro body, which you could use the Pimp Daddy Destro depending on what version you want to make, or make whatever you want with it. Um, for DFW, we had a workshop, and we put it together with the parts that we have, and so those are going to they'll be printed in black exclusively for that. But then we'll offer it in other colors on the web store, and then we'll do an episode of a couple of Kuks where we just show you how to build it, how to put all the pieces together.
Nice.
Everything snaps over the Destro just as it is. You have to do a little boil and pop to get some things working. But other than that, it's a simple kit, and it's all hard resin. So did it that way so that you could paint it with, you don't have to paint it with special paint. You can paint everything with spray paint if that's all you got. You can do it with brush paint. You can make it whatever character you want it to be, or make up your own character. It doesn't have to be something from a franchise. It's a very, very unique build, but I'm really proud of it. So yeah,
Awesome.
we'll be talking about that Sunday.
Sweet. And I will be putting for everybody watching, I will put links to the social media stuff in the show notes. So be sure and take a look at that. And Mikey, do you have a Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah. All of my socials and YouTube, they're all JMK Custom Works.
Okay.
We do the couple of Kook show as part of the JMK Custom Works just because it helps him with his channel.
Yeah.
To get things going.
Yeah,
So
we do the same thing. We do the same thing. We have our podcast is hosted on my channel. So yes, I know. You guys want to eat. All right. As always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Check out the show notes and request. This is a very good example of viewer request. So if there's people that you'd like to see on the show, send us a request, or if you want to be on the show yourself, send us a request, put it in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks everybody. And thank you too for being on the show with us. This was epic.
We had a great time. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely.